on, guys? Time to show off a new build that'll be available tonight. I was going through trying to find a Kraken style that I hadn't done in a minute, and it looks distressed, but its dial is actually pretty crisp. But it's the way it looks on there, it kind of has the bead blast look to it, which gives it that distressed look. But it is lasered and lightly bead blasted. Did a matching bezel insert, and I happen to have a bead blasted Atlas bezel to kind of tie that in. Did a set of black Moldova hands in there, just a nice crisp crown. I have some Kraken engraved crowns, but none of them are lining up quite well, and the problem that you have to what I have to do to resolve that problem is to actually plan out the case I'm going to use and the crown, and mark the crown and send it off to be lasered, and then when I get back, match it with that case. So I'd have to mark the case or remember the case somehow, that's going to come back for that. Because normally what I do is I just send off a handful of crowns and just have them all lasered what I need. And the stuff that's symmetrical, like the star circle, it doesn't matter how that aligns, it's always going to be perfect. But these only thread on one way. So what I'll do is I'll just sit there and I'll keep threading them on until I find one that either aligns straight up and down this way or straight up and down this way. But all the ones I'm getting are lining up this way. If your watch was upside down, you'd see it. Or if your watch was upside down this way, you'd see it. So it's just once I get to that case where it fits perfectly, we're good. So I just did a nice clean crown on there. This is the 160 case. Whether I've mentioned this before, these are a more expensive case for me because whenever I buy the base watch that I tear down, it comes with a special edition glow-in-the-dark dial, and so the watches themselves cost me a lot more. But I love this case specifically because it has these tucked-in lugs, and I can use lug extensions to kind of make them pop out right below, and I like the look of that. You can always take these off. They're just, your preloaded spring bar here, and then pop them out. You get your little hole right here, and just attach them directly. But what happens is these straps are normally nice and thick, and when you pop them in there, they're kind of rigid, and they don't want to do a lot of this. They do that, but this is a super, super, super soft strap from Mr. Gillespie over at Wristbound. You will love this strap. It is, it's like a waxy, very pliable feel. So even if it would go up in there, it would be pliable. So then I happen to have a bead blasted preview buckle with the logo on there, and I had a bead blasted Kraken engraved milled caseback. So you can see what we do there. We mill that flat from all the stock logo info and then laser onto them. So looks pretty cool. Everything kind of flows nicely. So it's kind of like a distressed bead blasted-esque build with highlights in black, but it's actually not very distressed. It just has a cool, I want to say unfinished, but it is definitely finished look to it. So I think it came out pretty awesome. But anyway, bezel on this will turn left, it'll turn right. These are just tension ring bezels. They are not click style bezels. They do not do click style bezels unless you buy a special case. And then they have the Seiko style ones. If you want to buy one of those, parts alone I think are almost $200 more. Because you have to buy a click bezel, you have to buy the case. It comes with sapphire glass, so all nice things. But a $500 watch becomes a $700 watch. So, but that is how you get the click style. I've only done like 2 of them. And how I did those too is I bought them already built because somebody was just selling them relatively cheap, and then I just tore down all the stuff that they had in there, and then put in my own movement dial hands, pried out their bezel insert, and essentially used the case glass and the bezel that they installed. So, but yeah, and then I was able to actually sell it for, like, without like going, hey guys, this would have been this much money, but since I got a really good deal on it, I'm just going to make more money on it. So I didn't do one of those. I still actually sold it for relatively the same price as what I would, you know, a standard watch. So anyway, off that tangent, bezel go left and right. This is an automatic mechanical. It's got a rotor in the back, so as it's moving, it is winding it. So can't be overwound, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you're like crazy moving all place, it will just keep it up full wind. You're going to back the crown off the threads before you put it on to wind it just a little bit to make sure you don't lose time throughout the day, because if you just put it on your wrist, even if it's still running from the day before, unless you're active, it might start losing time if it's dying. So back the crown off the threads, and when you're off the threads, you will hear it and you'll feel it clicking. You'll get a little bit of play. You'll know you're off that crown tube. At that point, you can wind. And a wind is a turn that way. Turning it towards you does not wind it, but it is a lot easier to keep that finger spacing. You go back and forth. Do that for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on. That mixed with the rotor movement should keep your time throughout the day. But if you know you're going to be driving or sitting at a desk or whatever, you know you're not really going to be doing much more than typing, etc., you can just wind it a little bit longer. As I said before, you cannot overwind it, so you can wind it all you want. It's got a slipping mainspring, so once it has the input it needs, nothing's happening. When you're good, you're going to pull it to the one and only click, and you can now set your time. It is already set at the current proper time, but to show this off, Alexa, what time is it? 1:20 p.m. When I was taking pictures of it, it was like 1:06, and I was like, of course it's hands stacked on top of each other. I don't even care. Don't even care. Then you just get to see the dial more. So, but there you go. As with every build, you're going to get matching beads. The wife did a really cool kind of look here. Very lightweight. This is going to come in a silver burned Kraken box, slider box with an Atlas bezel. Or, I'm sorry, an Atlas. I'm not used to saying bezel whenever I say Atlas, which is what that bezel is. Atlas pillow. It's also going to come with watch cleaners. It's good on all glass and metal, so everything here in the center, non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue, as well as a microfiber. It's also going to come with leather conditioner to keep that strap perfectly soft, though you'll probably never need to use it. You would just apply it with a rag or something. Don't use a microfiber. Let it soak in, remove any excess. And then lastly, you're going to get some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon. We just get a big container of it and then repackage it in these smaller ones. It's very similar to Polywatch, which is super expensive. You get about a third of this for like $8. So we can do like 24, 25 of these for the same cost as 3 Polywatches. So if you ever get a scratch, put a tiny bit of this on it, buff it out with this color matching microfiber. So if the scratch is up and down, just go left and right, making sure you're filling that scratch, and then kind of buff it, generate some heat with your thumb, and then wipe it off. Use a section that doesn't have it on it, and it should be gone. If it's not, let that solidify just a little bit, and then come back and visit it. You're essentially kind of building back up where you've scratched out. So with it being distressed, if you scratch it, you probably won't even really notice it, but if you do, no big deal. If you scratch the brushed, use the green side of a Scotch-Brite, take your band off, and do single curved passes. So if you get a scratch going up and down here, just do curved passes. Don't go back and forth, you'll get a line. You're just trying to blend it in. It's not going to make it disappear, you're just going to kind of make it less prominent, but do single passes, don't go back and forth. That's the best advice. But as I said, it's kind of a distressed build, so it's up to you whether how much you get into it if you run into an issue like that. So that's the build. If it's going to you, congrats. I hope you like it. I think this thing came out pretty awesome. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks for watching, guys.